Hey guys, Lush here from Beautiful Luscious Fashion. Today I am going to make a couple straight stretch bracelets. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. And if you are not, welcome back. Now, let's get into this. I am so tired, but I had inspiration, so I'm about to do it. So things that you're going to need. You are going to need some scissors. You're going to need measuring tape or a ruler. You're going to need some stretch cord, and I prefer the Stretch Magic 0.5. You're going to need beads, of course, which I have laid out on my bead board. You're going to need a stop bead or a bead clamp. So I just use a stop bead. And let's see if I can pull this here without knocking it over. So I've already got my pattern set up here. So I have 3 bracelets laid out here. There's one here, and one here. Not quite sure I'll do all 3 on camera, but I did get them laid out. So you take your beads, you lay them out in any pattern that you like, and then you get started. This bead is misshapen. We're gonna get you right on up out of here and replace you. Any pattern that you choose. So this is the pattern that I chose. I laid it all out, and I am about to get started and show you guys how to do this. Okay, I use a bead board. You don't have to use a bead board. I didn't used to, but then I found the advantages of it. The other thing I use is which you probably cannot see. Let's hold it in front of my shirt. Is a collapsible eye needle. And I'm quite sure you can't see that, so, because it's really thin. So I've taken my stretch cord and I pre-stretched it. So you take your stretch cord and then you just stretch it. Now, people do this all different kind of ways. So I prefer to use the 0.5 and just triple it. Some people prefer to use, it's 0.5 mm. Some people prefer to use the 0.7 mm. Some people prefer to use the 1 mm. The 1 mm I found is too thick in order, like when you get ready to when you do your knots, it's harder to hide your knots in your bead because that's what you want to do because you don't want to see your knots. So I prefer to use the 0.5 and I have tripled it. So there are 3 strands of the 0.5 in my collapsible needle. So I'm going to take my stop bead, which is what I use to keep the beads from falling off the other end. I put it through. I pull it down with just enough room to like give me enough room to tie. And then I wrap around. I go in back through the stop bead once. And then I go through one more time because it could slide. This one, because the eye on this one is really big. And I go through twice. So that way when I put my beads on here, it'll stop it from going anywhere. So, all right, which one do I want to start with? Let's start with the one with the focal bead. So I got them all laid out. I'm gonna string them on here. I use some spacer beads. Now I've tried just stringing them on by hand. I've tried stringing them on with a regular sewing needle, which the eye on it is too big with the amount of stretch cord. And then I've also tried it's a longer, and the whole needle is collapsible, but those tend to, when you pull your beads through, they tend to slice your stretch cord. So this is the one that I found the best for me. And I've also tried to string them by hand which I said, but stringing them by hand, trying to keep the triple cords all together through the hole is just a pain in the rear end.
Grace, please.
Now I had the beads laid out on my bead board to measure out 7 inches, which is like the standard wrist size for a woman. It's like it's about 7 inches. And on a bead board, that's like not from 9 to 9. It's my focal bead. I don't know why, but I just loved this in these colors. And I was like, yeah, gotta make something tonight, even though I'm tired as hell. I went to, my daughter's in college, and they are on Thanksgiving and Christmas break, so I had to go pick her up. And baby, when I tell you, I drove there and I drove back, 3 hours there, 3 hours back. I'm tired. But while I was there, I bought some beads because I got a problem. So as soon as I got back, I was like, I'm making this right now. While I got it in my brain on how I want to do it, what I want to put together. I just liked the neutral, how neutral these colors look. So I have some gray beads. I have some clear white beads, and I also have some like white, like gray with a black marble. I hope y'all can't hear my TV, which you probably can. Alright, so after I get all of these strung on here, I leave the needle on in case I need to take some off or put some on. So now they are strung on. So I take it and I put my finger, like squeeze it to the end of that stop bead. And then I take my finger at the end of that stop bead. Try to squeeze them in tight. And then I remeasure it to make sure it is 7 inches. And it is 7 inches exactly. I usually like to go like slightly over 7 inches, but we're going to leave it with this. So I'm going to pull this needle off of here, this collapsible needle off. And then I am going to take my stop bead off of here, which it usually slides right off with a good tugging. Slide it down to give myself a little bit of room. So you take your ends, you cross them over, wrap it around once, pull it snug, and you want to put your knot where with your bead with the biggest hole, because you're going to try and hide that knot in there. So pull it snug, not too snug, because you don't want it to break. And then you cross it over again. You wrap it through the loop. You're going to do a surgeon's knot. So you're going to wrap it through the loop once. Uh-oh. Come on, work with me. I didn't give myself enough. I guess I did. I just not holding my fingers right. So you cross it over. You wrap it through once. You wrap it through one more time. And then you pull it tight. And what I do is I flip it over and I tie a knot on the other side. And usually when it's triple like this, 2 knots tend to be enough. Unless the hole is big, then I do a third one, just to make sure it fits in there snugly. So I'll cross it over. You wrap it once, wrap it again for your surgeon's knot. You pull it tight. And I like to just check to make sure it can go in there. And it will. It's going to fit snug right in there. So then you take your ends. You don't want to cut it too close to the knot, because by you pulling it to cut it, when you release it, it'll untie that knot. So you want to cut close to that knot, but not too close. Cut my ends off, and pinch them. Then you take this knot, and he's got a bit too much ends on there. You take your knot and you fit it in that hole there, and you slide that bead right over that knot. I usually use my nail to give it a little push to go in there, and then tug on a string to get it in there. So now you cannot see the knot because it is inside of this bead. And that is that bracelet. And it came out really cute. Really, really cute. Really, really cute. I really like it. So I think I'll show you that one more time because I didn't show you the threading process. I want to keep this short. So you go through, you pre-stretch your cord, pre-stretch it. And you pre-stretch it so you don't, when you go to pull it, to make sure it doesn't snap. Because sometimes when you go to pull your knot, it snaps and then your beads go everywhere, and then you gotta waste your time and try and find them all, or start all over and all the extra. So I usually make my string, which I didn't even tell you, about 10 inches. So that's 10 inches. And then I wrap it once to the end. It's still on the spool. So it's still on the spool. Wrap it once to the end. And then I fold it in half and wrap it again. Instead of cutting 3 different strings. I don't want to deal with that. So then I'll take the end, once I've got them tripled. You got 3 pieces here. And then I'll stick them inside of my collapsible needle's eye. I can get it in. This needle has been used so much, it's almost completely collapsed on itself. Alright, open it up. So you put it in there, and then you pull it up inside of that eye. So now it's holding, ain't going nowhere. And then you come down to the ends. And then you cut that off. And that is how you thread. That's how I thread my needle. Then I'll take my stop bead. I'll put it through there. I'll pull it down to the ends. Or just, I leave about an inch at the bottom. Then I'll wrap it through once. Put it through the eye once. Through my thread. I don't want to do that. Because then you're going to put a knot in there and it ain't going to be easy to slide it off. Pull it through once. And then you put it back through one more time.
Yeah.
So now you got your stop bead on there. My thread on. So you got your stop bead. You got about an inch tail. Got my collapsible eye needle. And I'm going to thread these on here. They are strung on. Now, I'm going to measure. And this is actually right at 7 inches. Okay, girlfriend. Take the needle off. Take my stop bead off. Right, I got my stop bead off. I got my needle off. So you cross them over top of each other like you untie a knot. Wrap it around. Pull it snug. And I got this bead, which I'm going to pull my knot in. Pull it snug. Cross it over again. Wrap it through once. Wrap it through one more time for your surgeon's knot. Pull that tight. And then I flip it over the bottom.
2, maybe 3 more years.
And then I'll tie one more knot. So you're gonna cross it over, wrap it around once, wrap it around again, pull it tight. Alright, and then you cut. I think I'm gonna cut them off one at a time this time because I had a little bit too much tail left over when I did them like that. So we'll cut one.
I'm gonna ask you one more time. I swear to God.
And then we'll cut the other one.
So hard, your brand new tits like a pop out of your ass.
And then I'm gonna use my nail to help tuck this bead. I mean, this knot in this bead.
Girls have a good day. We've known each other a long time. You've never been one workplace. Why don't you just spare me the bullshit? I don't know what you need.
Excuse my TV if you can hear it. I should have turned it off. Or at least down.
I know it.
Just hear me out, Jack.
If I remember correctly, last time I helped you out, Karen, I almost ended up on the wrong side of the grass.
If I remember correctly, you weren't exactly putting up a fight.
Forget it, Karen.
Okay.
Good.
In trouble.
So that knot is hidden
Real trouble.
in the bead.
I wouldn't be here unless I needed
And that is
you.
another bracelet down.
Unless I needed you.
So
Jack.
that is both of the bracelets. I got one more and I'm not going to do it on camera because it's basically the same exact process.
Small risk.
But that is them.
Isn't that much?
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you got some kind of information. I hope you picked something up here today. And I appreciate you watching. And make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Not in that order. Subscribe, comment, and like it too. Because I know you liked it. You had fun watching, right? And these are your stretch bracelets. Bye, guys.